Alright, if you're watching this video, that means you're probably thinking of selling a property here in New York City. Now, the first word that comes to mind is exposure. The more exposure, the higher interest you'll generate. My job as a real estate agent is to put a sound marketing plan and an effective merchandising plan. Now, what do I mean by merchandising? Basically, what it is putting together a listing with the strongest attributes of your property as well as your building and your neighborhood and a great set of photos. The second part of the merchandising plan is the open house. Now, the open house is probably the most important part. An open house needs to be welcoming and the property needs to be presentable, because that's where a potential buyer will decide on the spot whether or not they're interested in purchasing your property. The marketing plan is basically what it is. It's how does one disseminate the listing, and that would be through various real estate websites, as well as using my personal extensive email database. Depending on the kind of listing that it is, if it's a very unique property or high-end property, then newspaper and magazine ad campaign can also be considered. Another responsibility I have towards you is that every single offer that's made on the table, I have a fiduciary duty to tell you about. I can't just pick and choose myself. Once we do have interest, and once we do have potential buyers who are interested in buying your property, it's my job to negotiate on your behalf the conditions and the price. Now, obviously, you'll be kept informed every step of the way, and you have final decision on who you would like to have as your future buyer. After that, basically, once we do have one person and who's gone through all the steps and that we're in contract, then it's really up to them to get their act together and get their board package together, and their attorney and their loan, and eventually that will take us all the way to closing. Obviously, you will also need a real estate attorney. I do have a list in case you don't have one in mind, and I think that's about it. So anyway, that's a general overview. Obviously, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me or email me. I'd be glad to answer any questions. And well, thank you for listening.